Okay, so make sure it's
I
clicking.
mean, you actually witnessed Mother and Dickie yelling at each other?
Do you remember one time up in San Francisco when she was going through menopause? It just drove him so crazy because she was,
You knew this?
yeah. So, yeah, by that time I think I must have been probably 17, 18. So, and and they were fighting. Oh, they were constantly fighting in the car all the way up. Just
Bickering? Or?
yeah, yeah. And but then we were out on the street, and she shouted and screamed and stormed. He yelled and screamed back at her.
God, another pair of glasses.
And yeah, I think. But they fought at home times too. They tried to be quiet and cool around the house, but they fought at home. Yeah.
Gosh, I just don't remember it. Maybe I just block those things out.
And that's what I was getting at with the bad times type thing. It's probably something you don't want to hear, and so you did hear it, but it's not registered around a whole story that you can bring back into your memory, do a recall of. There's no need to recall that.
Toward the end of Dickie's life in Carmel, 2 or 3 times when we were out, he would swear. And I mean this, in my whole growing up with him, he never swore. He'd say, "God damn it," once in a while. But he certainly never used all the yucky stuff kids use today. Do you remember him swearing?
Well, yes, but not in anger so much, because you have to remember, I went to a lot of events, outings with him. All of the hunting parties,
yeah, that's
where we're in a bunch of men,
yeah.
And so things like, and I used to go play golf with him or go on the golf course, from a little age, and so that's just.
It's a whole different.
It's a whole different thing. He's not angry at somebody, but he used swear words. Yeah.
And the baseball. I came across a picture of Dickie in a baseball jersey. What was that? I don't remember that.
You don't?
That he played baseball.
Yeah, he organized the team. Well, he
Industrial Tool?
It wasn't Industrial Tools. There was a business league team, so he was on the business team. There was probably a workers team as well, or Safeway employees or something like. It was the business league in San Jose. So it was it wasn't even semi-pro. It was an amateur league, but it gave each company a chance to put one or more players on a team that was semi-professionally organized, and they got to have the industrial tool. He had his logo, but the team, which I used to go up to the game, had 9 different or whatever,
Right.
9 different players who all wore different uniforms. I mean, so maybe trying to remember if they were all the same basic color, just with different logos on them. I think that was the case. So I think that was black or dark blue.
Black.
So they would have all had that same type of shirt with different logos on it.
Was he the only one from Industrial that went? And
I
he
think Jack
volunteered
Agler
for
played.
this?
I think Rod might have played too. Jack Agler.
Was Dickie any good?
He tried hard. He was very athletic, and so with the tennis and the swimming and that kind of stuff, badminton. That's probably why he did it. It was a way to. He'd be fine at it. They also may have just routed the shirt around, because basically the only thing that identifies you as the industrial tool guy is wearing the shirt. So But no, I get it was his own.
And you went and watched it?
I went and watched him play, yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd
I,
had a better.
but that
memory.
would have been about 53.
You certainly would have been in high school. I know that.
Yeah, so you would have been like 11 or 12, probably totally uninterested in the whole thing. I don't know.
Oh, I'd be so
Or-
interested now.
Or mother at least would have had to go then too.
Did she go?
I don't think so. I'm very vague on all of this. This isn't, I wasn't doing it, so, and I would have just been watching it, so.
When you say menopause drove Dickie crazy, did he say that?
Oh, yeah.
Did she really?
Well, in those moments, I mean, I'm thinking of this, she went storming off somewhere, and so he,
Would turn to you and say the
Yeah.
menopause.
yeah. And I don't know, I'm not even sure if you were even along on that, what we were doing. I don't remember you being there or not being there. You're probably exploring the bathroom. Maybe she went, I don't know. I don't know. I just remember the little outbreak.
Do you remember her having trouble with menopause?
Yeah, she had terrible trouble with it. Constantly changing medication, trying things, and it drove her crazy.
So she must have admitted that.
Oh, she knew it. But there's nothing you can do about
I
it.
know.
She's just emotional.
I know. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Well, just give me one memory of that you would talk about our Andrew's life together. Glendale, Fairview.
Well, you have to prompt me for this. That's,
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, how about the racing cars? Because I used to take my girlfriends out to watch you race your cars because I was so. I mean, this was big time.
Yeah.
I had a brother who raced cars.
Now, when you say used to, I don't think I only went to the drag strip twice, maybe 3 times in my life.
Yes, well, I
And you were there both times, yeah. And then you were there for the one time I flamed out on fire? No, you probably would have been horrified.
I think so. No, I don't remember that. And I remember that you didn't really want Mother Dickie to know you were doing this. Because we came home on one occasion and, it was supposed to be Mum's the word.
Oh.
So maybe they didn't
That
watch.
could have been another one of those times when
The belt came
the belt
out.
came out. The final time was with that 40 Ford, which was a car well worth drag racing. I had learned about the drags and went out there probably even with the blue car. I'm not sure what I had. Maybe it was the 40 Ford.
I think it was the red car.
It was a red car. So I went out the first time, 2 times. So the first time was, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't have, I wasn't really, didn't know the rules or the ropes of anything. I didn't know what was happening, so I just went up and did it. And, but I got up to 100 miles an hour, which was, 102, I think I did, something like that. And which was good, and so they encouraged me, and so I wanted to go back and do it again. So the second time I went out, and these are the kind of things where Peter's always getting into trouble a little bit. So, and being smart is the real kicker. So being smart and having read a lot, I knew that one of the things that the top cars did was to use nitromethane.
I do remember this.
And so I thought, okay, I can do this. And I went down to the drugstore
Oh, God.
in Willow Glen, and I said, I need some of this nitromethane, or maybe it was just the ingredients that I got, 2 things, that could have been. Anyway, they sold it to me, so I got this. Oh.
You'd have the terrorist police on you
The
today.
first time that, no, there were 3 times that. So the first time I didn't know anything. The second time I had got a can of, just a gallon of aviation gas. And I let the tank run low, and I put a gallon of aviation gas in, which is supposed to make you go a little bit faster. So then and it worked fine, but then I wanted more. So then I got the little vial of nitromethane, which is explosive. I mean, it's dangerous stuff.
Of course.
And I poured it in the gas tank.
God, Peter,
We drove out
lucky
there.
you're not dead.
And I'm revving up at the starting line, and you know how you rev your car up and then you're supposed to go. And all of a sudden, the engine just took off on its own. And I didn't know what it was doing, and you're supposed to wait for the green light, and it just went. And I panicked, and it just, I couldn't hold it back. It just started to go. And I went down, and then I got about, it seems like forever going a quarter mile. It's only 2 blocks. But after I'd gone about half a block, the cab filled up with smoke. It was just pouring with smoke. And I said, okay, oh my God, am I on fire? I thought I was on fire. So then, and I didn't have my foot on the gas. It was running, the engine was running
How
full
fast
blast.
do you think you were going?
I have no idea, but it wasn't the speed, it was the total confusion. The tires were burning rubber was one thing that was happening, and that's what all the smoke was coming from. They were just racing.
People watching this must have been horrified.
So basically, it flamed out about halfway down somewhere. I don't even think I ever made it to the end line. Maybe I did. But I didn't have any gear like parachutes or, there's no way to stop it. I mean, and it just pulled over to the side. And my buddies, Jerry and Bill, came over and, oh God. And it had to be towed back. And I got somebody to tow me back to, but that one I would have had to explain because the engine was ruined, and that was it for that engine. I finally I sold that car for $200, even though I'd probably put maybe a couple $1,000 into it. But they used it at the hardtops. They were going to use it because it's all beat up and a ruined engine. So they cleaned out the engine and got it running again. They explained to me later on that all they had to do, it had just filled up with soot, basically. The engine the valves, everything was just filled with soot because it burned incompletely, and that's why it was smoking so much too. So
You must have been scared, Peter. You don't remember?
No, not scared. Well, no, I was scared about the being on fire because I was thinking maybe I have to jump out. But there's another car maybe at my side. I don't want to jump in front of somebody that's racing at 100 miles an hour. So I probably was. But
Well, it was all fast.
It's
too,
18 or 19 years old. You're not really fearing anything. So fear wasn't one of the things I was worried about. I was worried about my car, which was and what am I going to do with it now? So we put it in the garage, in the house garage, and then a couple of weeks later, I sold it to this guy to use as a hardtop.
I think that might have brought the belt out.
No. I think they were just happy about that one, that it was dead. The car was dead then. So there's no more